All right, so as is every weeknight, it is time to remind people for the schedule, how the schedule's working. Deep Dish Football Live Wednesday. DuPage Run Shoot comes out Thursday morning. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete for week 9 on midnight. So I need those stats as quickly as possible. Then the IHSA Pairing Show with me and some special guests as well. Going to start 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then they take over. Well, not I'm sorry. Watch the pairings at 8 p.m. to 9. Then 9:30 to 10:30, going to go over the pairings. And again, coaches, players, parents, I need season stats for nominations for Player of the Year in the state of Illinois. And also, I'm going to do a new award too. Offensive Line of the Year award as well. So please send those stats. Don't need week 9 because I can just check for week 9 stats as well. But please let me know. And I will see you guys all this week. And see you guys on Deep Dish Football Live at, it's going to kill me, 6 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, Wednesday. So thank you guys so much. And let's get ready. IHSA playoff bearings. Here we go. All right, good morning, IHSA football family. It is time now for games of the week, week 9, 2022. Here we go. Again, my name is Peter Lineber, aka Coach Big Pete of Deep Dish Football. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. And again, looking for those season stats. For the yearly awards that will be coming out this Sunday. Also, the Deep Dish Football 6th Annual Playoff Pairing Show will start 6 p.m. on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Instagram Live being Coach Big P page. Facebook page, you're going to probably see it. It's going to be posted on 3 Facebook pages and that with some guests as well. Be sure to check it out. And again, my email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Tweet at me those season stats, coaches, players, parents. Make sure I get those stats. And yes, I know it's just week 8, but I look at the other week 9 stats when Friday night happens and Saturday happens as well. But please join us for Deep Dish Football Playoff Pairing Show starting at 6 to 8. And then 8 p.m. is the statewide broadcast. And then 9 p.m. to 9:30 to 10:30 will be some of my post thoughts of the pairings for the IHSA. Also, again, my email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip / donation via PayPal or Venmo link below. And again, Deep Dish Football Live, 6 p.m. Wednesday, 6 p.m. today. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, again, is not on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. At 9 a.m., sorry. It's too early in the morning. It will be at midnight on Saturday. It will be on midnight Saturday, just to give you guys a quick heads up and a quick warning, as it is that time where it's just a huge rush this weekend. It's a big-time rush. Well, we got some big game weeks. We have some big games for week 9, and Should be interesting. Really excited. And now let's get started. So we get in the big Northern Conference. We get Genoa Kingston at Stillman Valley. A big time game right there with Genoa Kingston looking really good. Can they defeat an undefeated Stillman Valley? We will see what happens. It's a big game right there. Normal West takes on Champaign Centennial. Champaign Centennial's got one loss. Normal West has got one loss. Normal West coming big after last week's win over Peoria. This is going to be a big time game. And again, the big thing that I'm paying attention to is how does Champaign Centennial go against that Normal West defense. That's going to be huge in my eyes. Johnson City, they won the thing cleared out. Marist at Brother Rice is a big game in that Chicago Catholic, the second biggest game in Chicago Catholic. Brother Rice is catching fire. Marist, they've done some impressive things. I wasn't impressed with them the first 4 weeks, but I'm very impressed with them now, and it's good to see. The big game, of course, is Mount Carmel versus Loyola Academy, and they always week 9. And I think it was a couple of years ago, it was Loyola Academy versus Brother Rice, and Brother Rice was undefeated at that time, too. Two undefeated teams. So, again, it should be an interesting game. I'm definitely paying attention to that game. For Loyola Academy, the big thing will be they've had good competition. They've defeated the competition that that was supposed to challenge them easily. They've had problems with competition that they were supposed to absolutely cream. So we'll see what happens. It should be a good game. I'm very interested to see Blaine Dowling, how he responds to that Loyola Academy defense. I think that's going to be huge for week 9. Nazareth Academy versus Bennett Academy. Battle for who gets the playoff spot. St. Rita versus Niles Notre Dame is always going to be a big game. St. Rita is looking good, and it's that 7-8 division, so definitely keep an eye out for that. All right, so we go down even more. All right. St. Ignatius to Fenwick's a big time rivalry game that a lot of people are paying attention to as well. That's also it's a double header, if I'm not mistaken. One's on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. St. Teresa, I think, is going to win that game. Central A&M versus Shelbyville. That could be an interesting game in the Central Illinois Conference. Central A&M definitely needs that win. Shelbyville's got their first loss against a tough St. Teresa team last week. Definitely a game that I'll be paying attention to. Central State 8, always quiet in the Central Illinois front. I don't think there's going to be much any surprises. Sacred Heart Griffin's going to win. Glenwood's going to win easily. Decatur MacArthur might be a little bit of a challenge for Rochester, but I think Rochester's got that game. Normal University versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville's looking good again this year, so we'll see what happens. Big shout out to Coach Grounds. Maine South and New Trier is always an interesting game, but I think, again, Maine South, they've been really on top of things after that loss to, I'm trying to think, who did they lose to? They lost a Prospect? Was it Prospect? Oh, I forgot the team. But yeah, it'll be a game of very interesting, indeed. Just like, again, there's a lot of interesting teams that have those 3 wins that know they're not going to make the playoffs. They have a lot of seniors on the team, and they want to play spoiler. So it's going to be week 9 has always had some interesting games. So definitely pay attention to that. All right, go down even more. Trying to see. Wheaton Warrenville South, Glenbar North is another big time game. Wheaton Warrenville South has the slightest chance at the playoffs, but Glenbar North, they want a shot at playoffs too. Big game, of course, in the Duquesne is St. Charles North versus Batavia, and St. Batavia, after those first 2 losses, they've been able to bounce back very, very physically, and they've had a physical rush offense and a great defense as well. This is a big time game. Batavia taking on St. Charles North. St. Charles North. Hey, I'm telling you right now, the big thing will be Bo versus Plum. That will be the big quarterback battle. And we get a lot of Thursday games. Wow. Naperville North versus Naperville Central. That's a big time game in the DuPage Valley Conference, and the DuPage Valley Conference has been an absolute pain in my ass this whole season. So that should be an interesting game. Naperville North taking on Naperville Central on a Thursday. Wow, that's very interesting. All right, and we get into not that much. Very surprisingly, not that much about Fox Valley. I mean, Burlington Central McHenry could be an interesting game. That could be a game to definitely take a look at. Huntley versus Crystal Lake Self, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, wow, pretty interested about that. I'm actually a little surprised. Tri-Valley Valley versus El Paso Gridley, a big time game right there. That's a big small school game in the Illinois Large Conference. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. The Tri Valley versus El Paso Gridley that they pulled out on week 9. Very surprised by that. Where am I looking at? Central Catholic, Bloomington Central Catholic takes on Prairie Central. Prairie Central still undefeated, taking on a tough Central Catholic team. Colin Hayes is the quarterback of the future in the state of Illinois. Kid that you must know, class of 2024 quarterback. You gotta know this kid. He's unbelievable. He's a talented quarterback. All right, so we get down even more. Lisle versus Piatone is a huge game for Lisle. This is Coach Parpett's last season. Can he get the big win at Piatone? Piatone always plays tough with Coach Shawley. We will see what happens. Again, that Lisle offensive line will have to be huge against the tough Piatone defense. Should be a big-time game right there. LaSalle, Peru, Kalen. Sycamore at Morris. We fought Sycamore Morris. We're going to be undefeated. One team's not. One team is. That's another big-time game. The Kishawaka River. They got to change the name. They need a new conference name. I'm sorry. It's true. You need a new conference name. Come on. Richmond Burden versus Rochelle. Interesting game. I think Richmond Burden's going to win. I think Richmond Burden did a lot more last week without the win. They did more with that normal West win over Peoria. Richmond Burden is just been overall impressive impressed me this season, and I'm taken back by Richmond Burden, and they could be a huge upset to a lot of big school Catholic teams in that 4A. So I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, Richmond Burden. They are the real deal, no doubt about that. Where am I? Cumberland is looking good. Their quarterback is a hell of a quarterback to pay attention to. Abingdon Avon was the sweethearts of last year. They got a tough game against Monmouth United. Monmouth United's had a little bit of a slow season, but we'll see what happens there. And in Wethersfield takes on Mercer County. That's a big-time game right there in the Lincoln Trail. Richland County, unbelievable. They're having an unbelievable season. Brown, I think, is their quarterback. He's having a hell of a season, too. Pekin's undefeated. I think they're gonna go full. They're gonna go 9-0. That's my personal feeling. Metamora Dunlap could be an interesting game as well. Morden had a tough game. They lost a tough game last week, so we'll see what happens, how they perform against the Washington team. Prospect Rolling Meadows, that's a big game right there. Hersey's got Buffalo Grove. I think Hersey's going to win that one. That's my personal feeling. I don't think that's any much surprise to anyone. We go into the Mid-Suburban Conference West, Palatine Hoffman Estates. That's an interesting game. That's a big-time game right there. Lincolnshire, Stevenson versus Libertyville, battling for a playoff spot. That's another game that you definitely got to pay attention to as well. Belvedere North taking on Rockford Golford. Definitely a huge game that you got to watch out for as well. Where are you? Boylan Cap. I think Boylan's going to win that one. I'll tell you one surprise. Lena Winslow at Forston. I think Lena Winslow's going to win that one. Lena Winslow's again like Richmond Burden in 1A. I don't see any team. Well, the different than Richmond Burden, because I see a lot of teams in the 4A, but 1A, it's theirs to lose. Honestly, that's my personal feeling with Lena Winslow. Macomb They're having a hell of a season. Congratulations to the Macomb Bombers. Um, Auburn at Williamsville. Auburn's offensive line is playing awesome, so that's definitely another game to check out. Athens at Merrill Forsyth could be interesting as well. Um, Lamont's going to win that one. Lamont's looking. That's another star team right there. Star-studded team right there. North Mac, can they come back from a tough loss? And Carlinville takes on Pana. Pana's unbelievable. Max Lynch is player of the year is player of the year nomination. He's unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. He is a star. Definitely a player you got to check out for. Kankakee, Crete Moniz is the big time game in the Southland Conference. And we got an interesting game with this one. Kankakee one loss to Nazareth Academy. Crete Moniz, they had a big time upset. They beat Joliet Catholic. We'll see what happens. This is going to be one of those big games that a lot of people won't see coming, and I think this is going to be a tight game. If it's not a tight game, I'll eat crow. I will eat crap for it, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I know the Kankakee kids they're getting a little bit mouthy with the Crete Monet kids. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a good game, no doubt about that. Plainfield North, Oswego East, Southwest Prairie West. That's another big game right there. Can Oswego East dethrone Plainfield North? That'll be the big one right there. St. Bede versus Mendota. Mendota had an upset. Interesting game. Hull High School. Keep an eye out for Spring Valley Hull High School. Mac Rusetich. He is having a hell of a season. Pay attention to Hull High School, the Hull Red Devils. Do not sleep on that team. Elgin versus Glenbard South. Another game that you could also pay attention to in the Upstate 8 Conference. We'll go down even more. Not that much going on in that Vermilion Conference as I see. Seneca, I think Seneca is going to win that one. I think Seneca is going to go 9-0, and definitely just hats off to that Seneca team. They deserve a lot of respect. Hinsdale Central versus Glenbard West, I thought was going to be the title game. It ain't the title game. That's definitely going to be another big game in the West Suburban Silver. York takes on OPRF, I think, on Thursday. Wow, we got a lot of Thursday games. I'm telling you that right now. We got a lot of Thursday games. Lions versus DGN at Lions. Right game, good game right there. We have a lot of games on Thursday. Jeez. Wow. I wasn't expecting to see so many good Thursday games. I thought that all ended after week 5, week 6. Jeez. Geneseo Moline. Geneseo's got a nice shot at the playoffs. That's going to be a tough game. Moline is just tough. Their offensive line is blocking everyone. Rock Island at Quincy, another big-time game. Quincy Blue Devils. Impressive team this season as well. Let's go down even some more. Breeze, I think Breeze Central's going to win that one. Nescada, I think they got a nice shot right there. Carterville, unbelievable. They're having an unbelievable season to take on a tough Harrisburg team. Definitely a game to check out. Charleston, it'd be interesting because Charleston had the big upset last week. They take on Salem this week. We'll see what happens there. That should be interesting right there, too. That game got canceled. We're still getting games there getting canceled. Phillips versus Kenwood. We'll see what happens there. Be interesting to see how Phillips responds against a tough Kenwood team that's just getting some of their big-time players back. So it should be interesting. Edmondson, Chicago Edmondson. Do not sleep on that team, by the way. They are playing lights out. Edmondson, Chicago is definitely a team you got to keep an eye out for. Taft at Morgan Park. Morgan Park needs an opponent to get back after. I think Morgan Park's gonna win that one. But big shout out to Taft football. They had a hell of a season. And I think Taft is still are on the cringe of making the playoffs. if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong. Proviso East, Proviso West is always the big Proviso rivalry game. I always got to give them a shout out. Big shout out to them from the area. So big shout out to Proviso East, Proviso West. Edwardsville, East St. Louis are playing St. Louis schools. Yeah. Edwardsville and East St. Louis are playing two schools in Missouri. I know the Jesuit. I know that. I know the Christian Brothers too. Two power teams, but come on, you're killing me over here. Yeah, Mount Vernon, Mount Carmel. Interesting game with the Mount Vernon Rams. Keep an eye out for them. They're having a hell of a season, the Mount Vernon Rams. They deserve to be talked about. And a big shout to Coach Mings and all them, what they've been able to do with those Rams. They've done a wonderful job. Big shout out to that. Lockport at Andrew could be an interesting game too. Two playoff teams. That's a big time game right there. Definitely take a look at. Mammoth Seymour, Bloomington. Bloomington's putting points up on the board, people. So keep an eye out for that game. Mammoth Seymour, Bloomington. I like that game. That's a good night. There's a lot of big non-conference games that look like schedules from week 1, week 2. That's crazy. That's I gotta admit, hey, that's crazy. Riverside Brookfield, they're gonna win that. I think they're gonna win that one. St. Francis versus IC is the big dog game. 3A, 4A. The big thing will be, can St. Francis? I think they won last year, if I'm not mistaken. The big thing will be St. Francis. Can they put a stop to Dennis Mandela? Dennis Mandela is having a hell of a season with IC. He is their quarterback. Also, they got a good running attack and one hell of a secondary. Big shout out to Coach Bone. They're doing big things at IC like they always do. But this IC team is for real. Unlike last year, because last year there was a lot of youth. This year, this IC team means business. They want that title. No doubt about it. Jersey. At Columbia, Jersey, their running back is putting up major league numbers. He put up big amount of numbers, 300 yards and 6 touchdowns last week. We'll see what happens there. Trying to see if anything else. Mount Zion at Mater Day. Interesting game right there. Mount Zion's got a hell of a quarterback, by the way. He's having a hell of a season as well. Ottawa Marquette at Sherrod. That could be another interesting game right there as well, too. Quincy Notre Dame's playing another St. Louis team. Rich Township's playing Chicago Leo. Wow, we have a lot of out-of-conference games. That's weird. Wood River at Red Button. That's a big-time game right there. Wood River looking good in that 4A. I'm trying to see if there's any more games. DuQuoin at Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro's looking good. That's another interesting team that we get into the playoffs. I'll be talking about it at the playoff show this Saturday. Lincoln at Triad. Lincoln Way East at Bradley Bourbonnais. Can Coach Cole pull the upset over those Lincoln Way East Griffins? We will see what happens. But definitely a game to check out. So that is it. And again, Woodstock North at Chicago Hope Academy. That's another interesting game. Bigger school taking on a smaller school. I like that. Chicago Hope Academy is no joke. I'm telling you that right now. All right. And my name is Pierre Limber, a.k.a. Coach Big P at DuPageFootball.com. I'm later on in this video, the graphics will show up for class projections and all that stuff. Well, not class projections, but playoff outlook. Again, my email is CoachBigPete, fp@gmail.com. Follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Deep Dish Football live Wednesday, today, at 6 p.m. And DuPage Run Shoot Thursday morning with my co-host Patrick Codo. Make sure you follow DuPage Run Shoot show. Again, IHSA Playoff Pairing Show Saturday starts at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Check out the Deep Dish Football Facebook page and the Instagram Coach Big Pete page. I'm also on TikTok. And again, I need those season stats for nominations for Players of the Year and Offensive Line Unit of the Year. Please let me know. I'm trying to think of anything else. Friday is going to be a rush, and so is Saturday. But Friday is going to be a bigger rush because breakfast for Coach Big Pete is Saturday on midnight. So I need those big game stats from Friday night. I need them as fast as possible so I can select my player of the night and my coach of the night in the state of Illinois. And it's got to be lickety split, quick and fast, and my hog unit of the night as well. So I need to know as soon as possible, because this weekend is a busy weekend. This weekend's always the busiest weekend. And I'm starting to take notes on every school from 1A to 8A, from Carroll, Illinois to Rockford, Illinois. It's a crazy time, and it's a fun time. I really enjoy this. This will be my last time covering IHSA football in the playoffs, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about that. And again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip donation via PayPal or the VENMO link below. Thank you guys so much for joining. And the playoff outlook should be coming about right now.